It's September 6, 2019 in Anchorage, Alaska. A security camera above a small neighborhood shop captures a quiet moment. A pickup truck pulls in. A middle-aged man gets out, and the woman stays in the passenger seat. To anyone watching, it looks totally normal, just a late-night snack run. But it's not, because the man is 48-year-old Brian Stephen Smith, and in the back of his truck is a dead body. Hours earlier, Brian isn't acting like someone who just killed. He's at home, relaxing after work, sipping whiskey, then taking his truck out for a late-night drive around Anchorage. He likes to cruise the city, watch the lights, and sometimes pick people up. Near a grocery store at Gamble Street and East 13th Avenue, he spots her. 52-year-old Valerie Kastler, homeless, standing in the rain. He pulls up beside her. "Do you want to ride around?" "It's raining," he offers. She's living in a tent. It's cold. It's wet. A warm truck with heat and music sounds like a break from survival. She gets in. For the next few hours, it doesn't feel like a horror story. They drive, talk, even stop near the airport to watch planes take off into the night sky. Brian is polite, charming, soft-spoken, with a South African accent. There are no threats, no raised voice, no obvious red flags. And yet, less than 24 hours earlier, he filmed himself brutally killing another woman inside a hotel room. Valerie has no idea she is sitting next to a serial predator. Around 2 a.m., Brian pulls into a gas station so he can use the ATM and grab snacks. Surveillance cameras catch him walking inside, calm and casual. He leaves Valerie alone in the truck. While she waits, she drops her phone. She bends down to grab it. Her fingers close around not one, but two phones. That strange cold feeling hits the back of her neck. Something feels off, but she doesn't say anything. She just slips the extra phone into her pocket. She doesn't know it yet, but this tiny accident is about to expose one of the most disturbing killers in Alaska's history. Later that night, Valerie heads back to her tent. She empties her pockets and realizes it. This isn't her phone. Different contacts, different numbers, different background. Curious, she starts exploring. Then she sees a folder. Its title, Homicide Marriott Hotel Midtown Anchorage. Her stomach drops. Inside are photos and videos. She presses play. It shows a woman on the floor of a hotel room. A man with a calm voice and a heavy accent is talking like he's making a movie, not documenting a real death. He taunts her, narrates what he's doing, talks about life and death like it's some twisted game. And then, on the video, he kills her. Valerie scrolls further. There are more files. More photos. More videos. Different women. Same voice. Same cold attitude. Same pattern of violence and control. The voice on the videos is the same voice she just spent the night with. She realizes the man who gave her a ride isn't just creepy. He's a serial killer. For days, she hides in the woods, too scared to sleep. Terrified Brian will realize his phone is gone and come looking for her. The videos replay in her mind over and over. At any moment, she could have ended up in one of them. Finally, she gathers the courage to do the only thing that makes sense. She hands the SD card to police. One of the officers who reviews the footage will later say it's the worst thing he has ever seen happen to a human being. Detectives watch the videos again and again, searching for clues. One investigator notices something, the voice. That accent. He's heard it before, in another case. He connects it to a prior suspect. The name? Brian Stephen Smith. From there, the pieces start falling into place. Human remains had been found days earlier off mile 108 of the Seward Highway, the body of 30-year-old Kathleen Jo Henry, a native Alaskan woman with long dark hair who had been reported missing. Phone records show Brian's phone pinging cell towers near that exact stretch of road around the time the remains were dumped. Timestamps on the hotel footage match the dates and times Brian rented a room at the Midtown Marriott. His truck is seen on highway cameras heading toward the dump site. The same truck is seen in the SD card footage. The same hotel room shows up in the videos and the Marriott's booking system. The same voice narrates the killing on video and answers questions when detectives finally sit across from him in an interview room. Police now have something rare in a murder investigation. A recording of the killer, filming his own crime. There's just one problem. When investigators move in to arrest Brian, he isn't even in Alaska. He's on vacation in Washington, D.C. with his wife, so they wait. The moment his plane lands back in Anchorage, officers are ready. They pull him aside and escort him to a small room at the airport. The camera starts rolling. Brian looks confused, maybe nervous, but not panicked. At first, he thinks this might be about something minor, like his truck being broken into months earlier. He talks about a stolen GoPro, about SD cards he used for camping trips and shooting hobby videos. He has no idea that detectives have already watched hours of footage of him torturing and killing a woman. They slowly start closing the trap. They tell him the SD card contains multiple images and clips linking him to the murder, with timestamps, locations, and his voice. They even read the name of the folder. Homicide Marriott Hotel Midtown Anchorage. You can see the moment it lands. You can almost watch his excuses run out. Still, he tries a new story. He claims he doesn't remember the killing. Says maybe he found the body in the back of his truck one day and panicked, then drove it out to the Seward Highway to get rid of it because no one would believe him. But the detectives shut that down. How does a random body show up in your truck? On the same SD card where there are videos of you attacking that same woman in the hotel room you rented in your own name? How does that happen by accident? Detectives don't show the full video, but they play his own voice back to him, cold, detached, talking about life, death, and his movie as the woman struggles. If you live, you die. Sadly, in my movies, everyone dies. The room goes quiet. He recognizes his own voice. He recognizes his own hands. In the footage, he isn't panicking. He isn't out of control. He's calm, narrating like he's performing for an invisible audience. This isn't a blackout. This is a man enjoying power. Sitting in the interview chair, he starts to crack. He still tries to say he doesn't remember everything. But he finally admits what everyone in that room already knows. He killed Kathleen Jo Henry and dumped her body along the Seward Highway. At this point, detectives know something else. People like Brian almost never stop at one victim. So they push a little further. They ask if there's anything else he needs to tell them. Anything else he's done. There's a long pause. Then Brian drops a bombshell. Some time ago, he says, he picked up another woman, very drunk, homeless, smelling like the streets, and took her back to his house while his wife was out of town. He admits he got angry with her. He claims he told her to shower, that she refused, that he'd been drinking heavily, and then he says it. He went to the garage, grabbed his small pistol, pointed it at her while she lay on his couch, and pulled the trigger. Afterward, he loaded her body into his vehicle and dumped her along a side road near a power plant off the Old Glen Highway. He even uses a map to show detectives where to look. Investigators later confirmed the remains found in that area years earlier belonged to 52-year-old Veronica Abuchak, an Alaska native woman who had vanished and been listed as missing. With that one confession, Brian doesn't just become a murderer. He becomes a serial killer. But the story doesn't end with Valerie's mistake, Kathleen's murder, or Veronica's disappearance. There's one more person in this web, Alicia Youngblood, Brian's secret girlfriend. Long before Valerie ever picked up that phone, Alicia had gone to police claiming Brian had shown her a disturbing video. A naked woman on the floor, motionless while Brian filmed her body like a trophy. Alicia tried to play along, doing whatever she had to do to get him talking, all while secretly trying to gather enough info to turn him in. She was terrified, disgusted, and trapped. Her warning wasn't enough to stop him in time. But when Valerie grabbed that second phone by accident, everything finally snapped into place. In February 2024, after a long investigation and a difficult trial, an Anchorage jury finds Brian Smith guilty on all 14 counts, including the murders of Kathleen Jo Henry and Veronica Abuchak, sexual assault, tampering with evidence, and misconduct involving a corpse. In July 2024, a judge sentences him to 226 years in prison. No possibility of walking free. Even then, one chilling question remains hanging over the case. Are there more victims? Brian moved to Alaska in 2014 after living in South Africa, and according to Alicia, he hinted there were others, including a girl as young as 15. Investigators may never know the full truth. In the end, this entire case, a hidden serial killer, a video movie of a real murder, a brutal confession, all unraveled because of one moment in a dark truck, outside a gas station in the middle of an ordinary night. A homeless woman dropped her phone and picked up a monster's. If this story moved you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think justice was served in this case? Make sure to subscribe for more deep dive true crime stories where we don't just tell you what happened. We explore the patterns, the warnings and the choices that lead to tragedy, so we can learn from them. Stay safe. Stay aware. And I'll see you in the next video.